Hey, what's going on, ladies? It's J.Good of Str8OutDaDen.com. I'm on the line right now with Jabee, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. How are you?
Man, I'm good, man. I can't complain at all, man. First off, just thank you for calling in. We do appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt, man. My bad about the time.
Hey, man, you don't even worry about it, man. It's all good. You know, the one thing I've actually been waiting to talk to you for a while, man, and I have a couple of questions for you. And the first thing is just sharing the story of how I actually found out about you and your music.
hmm
And what it was I was researching producers, and of course I found LP, and I was just like, I was interested in his sound in particular. You know what I mean? And I just started looking around and seeing different artists that he worked with, and the record that you have, the Stephanie record, is what I came across. And
Yeah.
I actually saw the visuals before I saw heard the record. So I actually saw them at the same time. And when I saw the visuals, I was like, yo, this dude he's forward thinking. You know what I mean? A forward thinking MC. Just the concept behind everything that you do. And I don't want to waste too much time on it because I'm sure everybody asked you about that record. But how did you two hook up, you and LP?
Well, like I had been wanting to work with LP since like I was probably like in high school,
Mm-hmm.
and he's been one of my favorite rappers and producers since I was in high school, and what happened was I did a show one time with a homie of mine named Nick Hook, and Nick Hook was on tour with his band, and they were doing like a video blog for Earth magazine, and they interviewed me for the video blog, and he asked me in the interview if I could work with any producer, who would it be, and I said LP,
Hmm.
and I just tried. He was like, man, I could make that happen, and I was like, what? He was like, oh, it's like I never heard nobody. Saying like nobody from Oklahoma in the Midwest say nothing like that before.
Yeah.
But I play in a band with LP, and I was like, oh, word. And so that night after the show, like he said, just email me, some music, and I'm gonna forward it to him and see what's up, And I was just bugging because I would buy everything LP put out, from the T-shirts to records to
Yeah.
anything. You know what I'm saying? When I was in school, And so, it took a minute. You know what I'm saying? It took about a year, maybe a year and a half for us to even connect. But what happened was, whenever he emailed him, LP was just like, I'm busy, not on no room stuff, but just kind of like
Just being
not
real,
really,
though, right? Yeah.
yeah. And so I ended up being in LA one time. I did an interview out there, and I was in LA for this show. And they asked me the same question, so of course I said LP. And they ended up tweeting like, JP mentions LP and like whatever, small people, just promoting the interview. And so LP watched it and then tweeted me back and was like, man, good looking out. And I was like, nah, man, like LP, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And
Definitely.
then, I was like, I tweeted him back and I was like, oh, I'm like, look at me, I'm Nick Hook's homie, you know what I'm saying, from Oklahoma. He's like, oh yeah, any friend of Nick's a friend of mine. And he started following me. And then whenever Little Mafia hit me up about doing the 7-inch vinyl,
Mm-hmm.
I just DM'd him one day. He was just straight up was like, man, I'll never know if I don't ask you. You know what I'm saying? Would you be down to feel a beat for me? And he was like, yeah, And he actually had sent me a beat to hear. It was for Killer Mike's album.
Mm-hmm.
Because the beat on that song, the one that was definitely actually ain't the original beat. It's a different beat that I rap to. And then I sent it back to him, sent in the vocals, and he just flipped it, man. Like, man, I put it on the beat and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's a dope story. I know you mentioned the record Stephanie being on vinyl, and I think that's a dope concept, man, because a lot of times people forget about the art of hip hop, and you know what I mean, like the importance of vinyl in hip hop. What was the idea behind doing the vinyl for the single?
well, I always wanted to put out, vinyl. Just being a hip hop fan, and my parents always had records and stuff around the house, and so there's a label out here, like an indie label. They do mostly like rock stuff, But the guy who runs the label, I know him, since I was, first getting started. And he actually put out my first album, But It's Me Black. And so he was, he was doing it's actually part of a box set for his label. And he did 10, I think. And so there's my record, the vinyl, and then like 9 others of different bands and stuff on his record label. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you could actually get the box set of like mine and like the other ones, and like they all different colors and got all different themes and stuff. So I was already going to do it just because he wanted to put out a vinyl with me. But whenever he hit me about doing it, I was like, no, I want to make it as big as I can. So I hit up LP to produce it.
Yeah, I mean that's the best way to do it. That's how you're gonna make it bigger. Once again, it's J.Good of Str8OutDaDen.com. I'm on the line right now with Jabee, and you mentioned that you're from Oklahoma City, and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like I really don't know a whole lot about the place. You know what I mean? And I'm sure there are some challenges that you face being, from Oklahoma City. Like, is there anything that you want to share with us, like just on a personal level, like making it out of not small city, but just making it out of a place that's not really known for hip hop?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, cause I guess I do look at it like that, but like I'm just so used to being from here that, and I used to be from here and like doing a lot of stuff, not in Oklahoma, that I just feel like I'm a part of it, but you don't really feel it until like you have like South by Southwest events or like festivals and stuff, and they'll have like different hip hop stages, and they'll have like an LA stage or a Houston stage or
gotcha,
you know what I'm saying, or like a New York stage, but and then I'll have homies from the LA stage. On the LA stage, but I can't rock it because I ain't from LA, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
or like,
that's gotta be
Houston or something like that, maybe all my homies rocking it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, you got that, and you got, just being in a place like Oklahoma City where, when I first started, man, it wasn't really, like the clubs and stuff. There was clubs that play rap music, but like the main clubs downtown and stuff, they wouldn't play rap music, and you couldn't come in with hats on and tennis shoes and stuff like that. But like now, all of them play rap music. You know what I'm saying?
Everything's switching up on you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like it's it's definitely been good, and picking up. But for the most part, man, like I think the hard part is just being from here and people not expecting, there's no real urban market or urban music market here, so whenever people do stuff, you kind of get overlooked, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I saw something else, and I forgot the name of the site. I wanted to give them the proper shout out, but I saw an interview that you had with another site, and they mentioned about you being self-managed, and I understand where you're coming from with that. I'm pretty much self-managed myself, man, and there's a lot of work, the obvious, but like what are some of the rewards from being really in control of your own career?
Most of the rewards is you get to keep all the money, but man, really, there's that, and then there's just the fact that you get to be in control of all the decisions, and you can say no. You can say, yeah, you'll have somebody going, well, man, this wouldn't be a good look for you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, you know what you want, what you're good at, but I just feel like, man, like, as far as a manager, because I got homies here that, rap, they ain't did a show in their life. They ain't never left the stage. They ain't never played but I know music. They don't got no, you know what I'm saying? But they got managers, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it don't even make sense for people to have managers. You know what I'm saying? For what? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. If
When
you're
you
doing it
don't,
on your
really
own,
do anything, you know. But you know, I've done everything myself, you know, without a manager for all these years. And it's like, you know, I feel like when the time comes, then, you know, I probably already know my manager. You know what I'm saying? Like, they probably already, you know what I'm saying? I'll be able to put somebody on my team or like my family that, you know what I'm saying, I grew up with and, you know me my whole life instead of like just some outsider who, you know, they got famous friends or they got connects with this label or they got, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of stuff is corny, you know, like it's all Hollywood. You know, I got homies who got good managers, you know what I'm saying? Like you know, Thurs and his manager's real dope, Chris London, you know, Jerron and Ayo Molly, they got a dope manager, Mario. You know what I'm saying? Them all homies of mine, and they, you know what I'm saying, they've been with them since day one, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I just feel like, you know, that's the way it should be, with somebody that know you outside of, you know, just seeing you and be like, oh yeah, I want to manage that person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, somebody who been with you since day one, and you know what I mean, not only are you you know, being with somebody who believe in you and understand your passion and, you know, what you're doing, but also you're able to like help feed somebody that, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, on your team from where you come from. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So,
once again, it's J.Good at Str8OutDaDen.com. We have some questions from our Twitter followers that I want to ask you, but I'll get to it in just a second. The one thing I wanted to ask you before we got to that, I have my favorite record from you, and it's off the Lucky Me EP, and the Coretta Scott record, right? Actually, it kind of, I'll say, it's in between that and Beautiful Day. I like Beautiful Day because for some reason when I listen to the record, it just made me feel good about myself and about everything, like no worries type record, right? But the Coretta Scott record, when I heard it, it took me somewhere, you know, it painted a true picture. And you know what I mean? And one thing that I appreciate about you as an artist, man, is the honesty in your music. And, you know, it's sad, but you don't get that as much nowadays, you know what I mean? But kind of, you know, if you can tell us a little bit of the meaning behind that record, Coretta Scott.
Man, you know, that's one of my favorites too. And nobody, like a lot of people don't really, you know what I'm saying? I think it get overlooked a lot, you know what I'm saying? But really, man, with that song, because I recorded that whole EP in North Carolina with Commissioner Gordon and like I'm the Duran and like a lot of cats from out there. King Mans was all in the studio the whole time with all them songs, you know what I'm saying? And so when I was in North Carolina, I was pretty much done with the EP, and me and Carlita had got on the bus and went to New York and kick it with my homeboy Hannibal King, the dude who produced it, you know. And the morning we was leaving, all night he was downstairs in the studio making beats, and you know we were just trying to listen to different stuff, and we didn't really plan on, because he already had 2 songs on the EP already, you know what I'm saying, the Trues and something else. So it was just kind of cool, like just, you know, just get some beats to ride to or rap to for later, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I remember, man, I was laying in the bed, I had just, you know how like you were hearing something while you sleeping, it'll wake you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was laying in the bed upstairs. His bedroom where I slept at was over his studio, which was downstairs. And I heard the beat, and it woke me up out of my sleep. So I went downstairs. I mean, that's the one. I was like, man, I need that. Like, because you know how you put something together that's kind of missing something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I had felt like the EP was good, but it was missing, you know, just something like just something soulful. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, he gave it to me, and the bus ride back was probably like, I want to say like 6 hours from New York City to North Carolina. So on the bus ride back, me and Khalid was just, you know, I'd be sleep listening. I'd be woke up to the beat while she'd be asleep. And then, you know, then when I wake up or she goes to sleep, I'd be listening to it or whatever, vice versa. And so, so that next day we was in the studio, and like I wrote the raps, and you know, it was just like really what I had called it Queen at first, you know. That was gonna be the first time. We're like, man, Queen's kind of like it's too generic, you know. We need like a better name, but really, man, it was just more than just like just saying like, you know, I appreciate being black. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate, you know, all the black women in my life. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I remember I met Coretta Scott whenever I was in college. You know, one of my best friends, a white kid named Cody. His mom, she would always take me and him to different schools, like to see different people speak. And his brother, Cody's brother, was going to OSU, and Coretta Scott was there speaking. You know what I mean? And we pulled up in his car when I took to see her speak. You know what I mean? And so I was just like, I gotta make this like I'm talking to her. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And because I wanted to, because people always, Martin Luther King is like huge, you know, but a lot of times, you know, people don't really, you know, not giving her props, but kind of like, you know, it's like, you know,
she had an important part too. You know?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? She had a big part in it. You know what I'm saying? And definitely. So, but I wanted to just do it like that. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of just be honest. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and say what I felt when I seen her. I didn't really get to meet her because it was a long line, but you know, I did get to see her and shake her hand and like, you know, and just, you know what I'm saying, be one of those people that, you know, got a piece of history. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
definitely.
And so, so that's really all it was. You know, we just came together like that hook. We all wrote it together. Me, Carlita, and Commissioner Gordon. And we all sang on it. Like, I don't even sing, but like I sang on that one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it worked, man. It worked. It definitely worked. I wanted to get to the Twitter questions. We had about 4 or 5 that we wanted to go through. And if you want to ask any artist that we talk to a question, just be sure to follow us on Twitter at Str8OutDaDen. That's STR, the number 8, OUTDADEN.com. Well, not the .com, but it's so, you know, you can actually ask the question and we'll shout you out here on the interview. And the first question comes from Figure 4. His Twitter is at Figure4s40. And he wants to know, will you do more stuff with LP?
Yeah, I hope so. Actually, yesterday, I just confirmed some more dates on there because him and Killer Mike has finished the album, so Fool's Gone, and so we're gonna go on tour for that. So I got here to do some of the dates on that tour, so I'll be, you know what I'm saying, hitting some of those tour dates. But I'm going to New York on the 29th, and we're supposed to link up and just, you know what I'm saying, chop it up and hopefully get something, you know what I'm saying, like in the calendar for my album. So yeah, like definitely the thing about LP, man, is like, I mean, like anybody who knows the music, it knows his, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, he don't do, you know, work for anybody, you know what I'm saying, for everybody, you know, it's like he's such an exclusive producer. He don't just, you know, he can't buy out a bunch of albums with LP beats on them, you know what I'm saying? So like, you know, just the fact that I got that one, I'm just so blessed, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
But our plan was to actually do two beats for that, 2 songs for that vinyl. So I'm sure that, you know, when I get to New York, you know what I'm saying, you see, I thought we'd better get something on the calendar for something else. But you know, he said I can go back on some of those tour dates with him. So yeah, we'll definitely do something for sure.
Cool. And next question comes from D Nice. Her Twitter is at she is fresh, the number 2 DEF. She wants to know, when will you and XV collab again? And I'm sure she's talking about the Beautiful Day remix record.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I think that's me and XV. That's our second one I think we did because I'm on his mixtape for the song called VIP in Heaven. You know, I put it on one of mine, but I haven't talked to him in a while. Like I just tweeted him a week or so ago, but I don't know, man. I ain't hit him up, man. You know, like I've been knowing XV since before he got signed to Warner Brothers. You know, and I had a show out here in '09, and I brought You and I when they was together, and I had XD come, you know, he's from Wichita. That's just a few hours away from the city. He came and rocked for free, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, and we just kicked it, you know, and, you know, we just did kind of, you know, him being from a place like Wichita, and me being local in the city, we just kind of have like a cool little bond, you know what I'm saying? If I play in Kansas, and he in town, he'd come through, you know what I'm saying, and kick it with us. So, I mean, I don't know, but I need to hit him up, really, because, I mean, like, he's helped me out a lot as far as, you know, him being, you know, such a big name and, you know, doing so much and getting signed and, you know, because actually, like, Beautiful Day, that remix, the original, he recorded a whole song to it, and he just didn't use it. So Seven sent me the beat, was like, you could use it, and so I recorded the song to it. And then I seen, actually, he was like, man, you know, I got like 2 or 3 verses to that Beautiful Day if you want them, you know what I'm saying? This was after he was already signing one up on me, you know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
And I was like, yeah, I'm like, he just sent them to me, you know what I'm saying? So it just worked out, you know, and he was cool about it. So, yeah, I'm sure we'll do something. I ain't hitting him up. But, you know, we both just got a pocket with our own thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm sure we will.
Then 2 more questions, JB, and I'll let you go. I do appreciate your time. The next question comes from Mustard Gas. His Twitter is at MUSTERDGASS, and he wants to know what are your thoughts on the XXL freshman?
I don't know, man. It's cool. I mean, I think people was expecting me to be a part of that because, you know, whenever Stephanie came out, it was getting so much XXL attention, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you know, I feel like I know where I'm at in my career. I knew that I would, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I knew I was nowhere near as big as, you know, a lot of those cats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think this is one of the more legit groups. Like, you know, you kind of see like, yeah, they belong in there, they belong in there. You know, for, you know, like the past 2 years, kind of 2 people, you was like, man, what the heck?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, where that person come from?
Exactly.
I kind of feel that way. About Logic until, you know, I just kind of researched and was like, okay, yeah, you know, you know, he probably not getting all that internet buzz, but
he nice
sometimes, you know, yeah, it don't take all that. He had one of the better freestyles too.
Yeah,
I was surprised by a couple of those freestyles was just kind of whack to me. You know what I'm saying? But definitely, I thought everybody on there was definitely, you know, good and deserved to be on there. You know, I feel like, you know, they can't always hit everybody. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, they got to consider selling magazines too. You know,
that's true. That's true.
You know, like for years waiting for XD to be on there. You know what I'm saying? People been waiting for Casey Veggies and Dom Kennedy to be on there, you know? So, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know how they do that stuff. Yeah. You know, I thought my homeboy Mr. Dr. X-Class going to be on there this year, but he wasn't on there, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I thought everybody on there was good, you know, so.
Cool. The last question comes from Blade. His Twitter is at Blade, the letter N, and Finity, Finity. And he wants to know, how did you meet Chazzy Nicole, and can you hook him up?
Man, you know, she's from Oklahoma, man. She a lot of people know her because know who she is because, you know, she models and stuff, and she, you know, she published and all that. But she used to date with Khalifa in middle school, and so because Wiz Khalifa lived in Oklahoma for a while in middle school, you know, and so you know, years ago, like when Twitter first started, he would tweet her and stuff like that, so that would get her a bunch of looks and a bunch of followers and stuff, and a lot of dudes was on her, you know what I'm saying, but that's how I first met her, was on Twitter, because my homie was like, you ever heard of Chazzy Nicole? And so we would go back and forth on Twitter, and I was at an event out here, and we was like, well, we gonna meet up at this place. They had like these this thing called play date, and all the homies would just go when you would play like all types of like board games and stuff. They'd be packed full of people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I met her there, and she was like, man, you so little, because we had never met in person, but we just end up being just cool like homies, we picked it up 2 times, and she, what I'm saying, she's from Oklahoma, man. She's just an Oklahoma homie now, and I see her out every now and then. And, that's it. I can hook her up. She's tied down.
Yeah, hey, it's cool, man. It's cool. Well, hey, I want to thank you for taking the time out to talk with us, man. Once again, it's J.Good of Str8OutDaDen.com. I'm on the line with Jabee. And before you go, man, can you give us all your Twitter information and whatnot so people can stay in contact with you?
Yeah, no doubt. My Twitter is my name is Jabee. My name is Jadee. That's my Instagram too. My name is Jabee. My Facebook is JB Music. What else is there? Bandcamp is IamJB.com. Jabee. That's how you spell it. What else? I got IamJB.me. My SoundCloud is JB-Williams. And then I think that's it, really. But that's it.
All right.
Email is IamJB@gmail.com.
Once again, it's J.Good of Str8OutDaDen.com. We're on the line with Jabee, man. Hey, thanks for talking with us, man.
I appreciate you, bro.
All right, no problem, man. We out.